Hi guys, welcome back to Mel's Kitchen. Yes, it has been a while. These last few weeks have been strange, unsettling, lots of emotions for sure, what with all this COVID-19 going on. So I made the decision just really not to set any expectations on myself, just to step back and try and be in the moment as much as possible. And so most of my days, like the rest of you, have been spent homeschooling, trying to keep up with a little bit of my work. I'm actually working on a new website right now, which I am really excited to share with you once it is complete. And yeah, to be honest, I lost my mojo in the kitchen for a while. I was in here cooking every day, but the inspiration had gone. So I've been waiting for that to come back before I jumped on camera with you guys, and it has now returned, for the moment anyway. So today I am going to share with you one of my kids' favorite snacks that I make on a regular basis. It's our banana bread, and I'm going to show you two ways of making it with the same recipe. So I'm going to make it into a banana bread for you, but then I'm also going to show you how I'm going to make it into blueberry muffins, but I'm using the same mix, so it makes it really easy. Okay, so let's get started. So first off, in my awesome, beautiful red KitchenAid mixer, we are going to put in 3/4 of a cup of coconut sugar, and I have 4 eggs. Okay, so I'm going to put that on and just let that mix really well for about 10, well, probably not even 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Okay, and I'm going to use the whisk attachment. Okay, so I'm going to put that on to about medium speed. There we go. And just let that go while I show you the rest, okay? In here I have 3 cups of whole wheat flour, and I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2. I'm also going to add in half a teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of sea salt. Okay, there we go. Okay, then I'm going to mix all this together. Just while the sugar and the eggs are mixing. Now, this recipe has been adapted from one that I got out of a book years and years ago, and I've made so many changes to it that really it's so far from the original recipe that you wouldn't even know. But the original recipe started off with 1.5 cups of sugar. Okay, so what I initially did was I initially reduced it to a cup of sugar and added half a cup of applesauce. And then I reduced it again to 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 3/4 of a cup of applesauce, and then I just removed the applesauce entirely. So I halved the sugar from the original recipe, and the original recipe called for white sugar, and if ever a recipe calls for white sugar, I'm always switching it out. Coconut sugar is my go-to. If I can, also I'll put in maple syrup or honey, but those 3 are the sweeteners that we tend to use most in the house. Now, Ben has started baking a lot himself, and I'm leaving him be in the kitchen when he's trying things out, and he really wants to, he's not ready to amend any recipes. He really wants to use recipes as they say. So for his recipes, if they call for white sugar and he's not ready to change that, yes, I don't fight with him. I just buy the organic cane sugar and we use that as the white sugar. If it calls for brown sugar in any of his recipes, he is using coconut sugar. Okay? So I have mixed all that together. My sugar and my eggs are going over there. So what I'm going to do is let that go for another couple of minutes while I show you the other ingredients. Now, for this recipe, and don't worry, I will be posting the recipe in the description below so you can access it there, so you don't have to remember everything. And I will do that with every single video and recipe that I share with you. So this one calls for 6 bananas. Now, if you're anything like my family, we always have bananas in the freezer. They're very bad. Always tons and tons of bananas. So what I tend to do is if I think ahead and I think, okay, I'm going to make that the next day, or even if I'm going to make that later in the day, I'll get them out of the freezer, let them defrost. And the nice thing is you just chop the top off, squirt it into a bowl, and then it's super easy to mash up, you can see like this, for banana bread recipes. Okay, so I'm going to just check on this over here. Awesome. So that is all mixed together. There we go. Okay, so next I'm going to check my recipe because I'm terrible. When I'm multitasking, I can easily miss an ingredient. I've done that many times. I think one time when I was making this, I missed putting the oil in. It ended up, it was still edible, but it was obviously a little bit dry. Thank goodness for the bananas, which, you know, moistened it up. But so let me check on my recipe to see what we need to do next. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to add the oil. So I have 3/4 cup of oil in here. The oil I'm using today is avocado oil. You can also use coconut oil. They tend to be the two oils that I use. If you're going to use coconut oil, I recommend melting it just over a very, very low heat before you use it. So I am going to put the same, actually no, I'm going to use the other attachment, sorry. I'm going to put it to the beta attachment, so we're going to add that in. And then I'm going to just put this on low while I add the oil very slowly. Okay, so like I said, 3/4 cup of avocado oil is going in here. And I'm not using olive oil because, again, I may have mentioned in some of my other videos, olive oil ideally shouldn't be heated, so I don't use that in any of my my baking or any cooking that is overheat. So I always tend to use avocado oil and coconut oil. So I've added in my oil. Let me just check my recipe. Yeah, now I'm going to add in my bananas. So I have 6 bananas here, 6 large bananas that I have just mashed up for you. So we're going to add, actually what I will do, let me take this off and I'll add it over here so you can see. Okay, so we're going to add in the bananas, 6 bananas mashed. We are going to add in buttermilk. Okay, so I have 1/2 cup of buttermilk here. Now I never buy buttermilk, so what I use is I take 1/2 cup of regular milk and I just add in a dash of apple cider vinegar and let it sit for a few minutes, and basically it's buttermilk. You could also add in a dash of lemon juice too, probably only 1/2 teaspoon at most, so just a little squeeze in there. So that's going to go in. So I'm going to add in my bananas, my buttermilk, and then I'm going to add in vanilla extract. So I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Whoops, where that went, we'll find that later. 1, 2. Okay, let's just do a quick recap. So in here, I put my sugar and my eggs, mixed all that together, and I added my oil in a low, added oil in a stream when it was still on low, and then I've added my mashed bananas, my buttermilk, and my vanilla. And we're going to put this back on to mix together. Now, while I'm doing this, I have also heated up the oven to 350 degrees. Mix all that in. And yeah, like normally what I do is I'll just use this to make banana bread and then I freeze it so we have some for quite a while. And when you're doing that, this recipe will make up a regular size tin plus another, or 2 actually regular size tins. Or what I do is I do 1 regular size tin and I have 2 smaller tins. So I will make 3 banana breads, and then that will keep us going for a while. I used to do this and the kids would take it to school for snacks. So I'd make it like once a month. And that's the nice thing about when you're baking, try and make more, freeze it if it's something that freezes well, and then you don't have to be in the kitchen making it all the time. That's what I like. So this is all mixed. So take that off. I don't know if you can see what it looks like. Probably not. A little bit there. Can you see? Probably not very well. No, I don't want to tip it all over the counter because that's the sort of thing I tend to do. I am not the most graceful in the kitchen, so If you are wanting grace and perfection in the kitchen, you are watching the wrong videos. All right, so I've done that, and then all I'm going to do, super easy, I'm going to fold in the flour mix. So we're going to do it. Normally I'd do it on the mixer, but because I have you in front of me, I'm going to just do it by hand. So I just do it about a third at a time, just to make sure it's all mixed in. So this is the flour mix going in. There we go. So that's the third mixed in. Do another scoop. I like doing it just in separate so you can make sure it's all mixed, otherwise it can be a little bit harder. This is a really great recipe to get the kids mixing. The kids are upstairs right now. It's a bit of quiet time, so I thought I'd jump on here. Sam doesn't like making this recipe with me. Well, he doesn't mind. The thing he hates doing is mashing the bananas. He thinks it's really gross. So that's what a 7-year-old finds gross, but they don't find gross doing bathroom talk every single day. And oh, that's what my household, being full of boys, even the cat and the dog, there's a lot of bathroom talk going on in this house. So I'll show you once I've got it all mixed in, or if I can show you mixing it in. There's still some white bits, so I'm trying to mix it in until all the white bits have gone. Okay. Scrape down the sides, make sure you're not missing any. Make sure you scrape on the bottom, get everything mixed in. Okay, still a little bit of white. Okay, so once that's mixed in, now if you were just making banana bread and not split it in two like I am with the muffins, what you could do is you have options. You can just keep it as is, or what I normally do is I'll add in a cup of chocolate chips. My boys love chocolate chips in theirs. And then I will separate it into the pans, which I have oiled with these ones. These are the ones I'm going to use today. So I have oiled them with coconut oil. What you could do is also line them with parchment paper so they don't stick. But what I'm going to do today, oh, another thing you can put in is raisins. If you don't want to use chocolate chips and your kids love raisins, you can always add raisins in there. I'm not sure if it's an English thing. I love raisins in all types of baking, but I seem to be a minority. So what I am going to do is, because, let's just give this a quick mark, because I'm going to make half a batch into blueberry muffins, I am going to transfer half the mixture. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to transfer about half the mixture into this bowl here. Okay. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exact, but we'll try and get it so it's half. I reckon that's pretty good. Make sure the rest of it's mixed in. Okay, so this is going to be for my blueberry muffins. Whereas for my banana bread, what I'm going to do is, where did I put that? Is just split it into these two mini loaf pans. Make sure you've got a good grip on the bowl, again, so you don't drop it. Okay. Now what I should have done, I meant to mix in the chocolate chips here, but too late now, it's gone into the pans. So what I will do, so see, multitasking, I can't remember everything. I'm just going to put a little bit more in there. Make sure we got it all. Oh, don't want to leave any behind. I'm surprised that kids haven't come down wanting to taste. Okay, so because I forgot to mix the chocolate chips in, I am going to just sprinkle them on the top. They won't get as many as they normally do. Even push a few in. But hey, this way they still have their chocolate chips and their banana bread. I am going to push them in a little bit. Nothing fancy. Doesn't have to be fancy, remember. Cooking, making homemade food is always the better option. Like if you went into a store and bought banana bread, you have a look at the ingredients, probably the list would be way more ingredients than I am using today, and you probably wouldn't be able to pronounce half of them. And that's probably going to be the same thing that I say in every video to you, but really it is key. So here, as you can see, banana bread. So I will bake that in the oven for one of this size. It normally takes anywhere between 50 to 60 minutes depending on your oven. For these, I start checking on them after about 25-30 minutes, and then I'll just insert a toothpick or a knife until it comes out clean, and then you know that they're done. Okay, now with the muffins, I had better remember to put the blueberries in the muffins. So I've got some nice blueberries here, so we're just going to mix those in. See, it's just, you could even make a double batch of this, and you could do a ton of muffins, a ton of banana bread, hey? I'm going to throw in a few more blueberries. But the nice thing about this is you just make the one main mix, and then you add in different things. Like I've made peach muffins just by chopping up and adding some fresh peaches. I've made strawberries by doing the same with the strawberries. Really, whatever fruit your kids like, you could add in here. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is, I like these little scoops, is scoop it out and into my muffin cups. Easy as that. So that really is it. I don't know whether you need to really watch me keep doing this, but honestly, this is our favourite banana bread or muffin recipe. I've been making it for years, and the kids just do not get sick of it. If they get bored of it, that's when I'll change it up from banana bread into the muffins, or I give them a bit more variety like that. But this is even going to make, you could probably get 24 muffins, 24 small muffins out of this mix, plus 2 small banana breads. So this is going to keep those guys, well, these days it's not going to keep them fed for long, because they are, I can hear someone coming down the stairs. Sam, are you going to come and say hi? There's Sam making, look, Sam made you banana breads, but look what Mummy did. I forgot to put chocolate chips in it, so I put chocolate chips on the top. See? He likes it. We like our banana bread, don't we? So yeah, I've put in for 12 muffins already. I could probably add a little bit more extra to that, but I still have extra left. So you're going to add in, you're going to have enough for, I would say, 18 to 24 muffins. Anyway, try it out with your family. I'm sure if they are home a lot, like we all are right now, if they're anything like my kids, they constantly eating. So give it a go and let me know what you think. I'll be back soon. Take care, guys. Bye.